Noah, check 1, 2. Yes, I hear me. Everyone hears me. Welcome. It's a beautiful day, but it's a crazy day, so we got to get some facts straight today. Ladies and gentlemen of the crypto space, it's Monday, 11:30, September 21st. It's the end of the month almost. Get on the stream. Let's figure out what's going on. The great crypto wealth transfer from Ethereum, DeFi, because that shit was hot, ladies and gentlemen. Now that shit is not. The tech is brilliant. The tech is disruptive. The tech is going to change everything. But right now, the assets are getting destroyed. And we saw this coming about 2 weeks ago. That was a Thursday 2 weeks ago when we saw the markets correct, when we saw the DeFi markets correct. And that is the bottom line. That is what occurred, and that is what's playing out today. We were in risk-off mode for the last 2 weeks. We had time. We saw it. And where did we see it? Let's pop up the big board. We saw it right here, because all you have to do is refresh this bad boy, filter by 24 hours, and for the last 2 weeks, we had maybe 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 items that were in green for the 24-hour range. And for the last 4 months, it was 20%, 50% gains for all the good stuff. But it is all being given back, and we've seen it coming. We'll bring Bancor, Kyber, Atom, shit, even Bitcoin, but it's going to hold support. There's no way this thing's going under $10,000. And in the equities markets, too. Tesla, Apple, they're all going to get nailed today. So bear in mind, we'll get back to Tesla in a second, because I am itching to buy this equity. Love the company, but I'm not going to pay these prices. I'm going to wait for blood to be in the streets and people to be crying, why did I buy it? And that's when I come in and I buy it from them. That's going to be the play, because I am ahead of the curve on that particular asset. Who's in the house today, John? Something? Yes. Shiny free uni tokens. No, those were to be liquidated at about $8. Those we're supposed to get rid of those things probably somewhere up here. So I liquidated. Let's flip to the 15. I was out of my uni tokens right here. Right here. This is where I got out of uni. Sold a fair amount. Boop, right there. That little red right there. Right there. And it's, bear in mind, this is a falling wedge that broke to the upside, but since has collapsed. No. This is, what if you're not out, I can't tell you what to do, but I was out a long time ago. I'm not a bag holder, and I took my profits and I rolled it into Bitcoin. Bing, bada, boom. Dollar is king, James says. The dollar is it's a piece of shit. That's what it is. It's like that asshole in the room that just walks in the door and starts bumping shoulders with everyone. This thing, look at this thing. Look at this little tiny ass stupid move to the upside of like, and this is destroying everything. This stupid little move breaking through resistance is tanking gold because it's liquidating the damn stock market. And as these assets are getting destroyed, people are losing margin positions. So people are selling anything they can to pay their leveraged debt positions that they have in the stock market. Everyone's like, oh, the stock market just goes up. The stock market just goes up. No, no, no. Follow the technicals. Fundamentals are dead in the stock market. But clearly, sure as hell, technicals are good to go. Check this out. Look at that resistance hit. Boom. Look at that resistance hit. Boom. I mean, these are straight up technicals, man. And then the third one, obviously, is the trend starter. But look, it hit the line, a little green line on a damn chart, and it hit and it held as resistance. Now, if this thing breaks down, Tesla going to rip to the downside. And why? Why is it going to rip to the downside? Because people are going to see this price right here, and when it hits them psychologically, that price, that's when the fear kicks in. And there's a reason why these trends exist. They're psychological barriers. And look, if you break this red line and dare you dip below the 200 EMA, and what is this? This is the daily. This is the 15 min. If you hit rip below the 200 EMA and the 15 min, next stop at least is here. So 200 EMA on the 30. Maybe there's some psychological resistance there. I mean, aside from the clear trend formation, the sim triangle trend formation that's been brewing since August 12. I mean, look at this giant run. This thing's primed to correct, and this is going to be brutal. 16% rip to the downside, and that's just the beginning. You guys know my price targets. I'm looking upwards of 75% retrace after all things said and done. There's no way I would buy anything like this. I don't know anyone that would buy anything like this unless you go to casinos a lot. What I do is I look for something like this. It breaks to the downside. It breaks to the downside. I have horrible drawing skills. But then I wait for the bounce. I wait for the retest. And then I wait for it to go about 15 to 20%. And then I'll get into position. I wait for a rip to the upside. I want to buy in a bull market. I want to buy when it's going 20% a week for 2 months. And the only way you see that is after the bottom. I don't want to buy before the bottom. I don't want to buy at the bottom. I want to buy after the bottom, after a confirmation that we're going to have some serious bullish action. And as of right now, there's only one type of action the chart says. All charts is downward bearish action. And this isn't fundamentals. This isn't just me hating on equities. This is what's actually going on in the data. Who else is in the chat? Staff's here. Derek's here. Always a pleasure. Frederick, my man. Charlie, always a pleasure. Click. DGB, I bought a bag load more. Look at Digibyte. Digibyte's killing it the last time I looked this morning. It's a little red now. I mean, I saw it up there, 33.8, but it's right about here. 24.93 for give or take a day and a half, 2 days. That's a hell of a rip to the upside when the rest of the market is getting destroyed. And this comes back to the headline of today. Right now, it's risk off and this redistribution of value. If something's going down 50, 60, 70%, they're going to be redistributing it to other assets that they're more inclined to think are going to appreciate in value. And I think at some point we're going to see a massive shift to the hot UTXO assets of 2017 and 2018 that are basically the fundamentals of crypto, the crypto space. You're talking things like Digibyte, BlockNet, StakeNet, Syscoin. Before being back in the mix again, that'd be nice. Alquo deserves something, man. Alquo deserves something. I'm not a speculator. I've had that masternode for a couple years at this point, and I think they deserve something. That's one of my non-touchables. It is what it is, and that's the same with all of those. Those are the only positions I'm stuck in. With regard to DeFi is the non-touchables, the stuff that I'm just not going to go out of my way, which was like Cosmos. I'm not going to unstake, which takes 21 days to gain access to the asset. Digibyte is a non-touchable, and frankly, it's up. So, yeah, that's a no-brainer. Synthetics, they're in escrow. I can't touch my synthetics if I want to. You can't. They're in escrow for 1 year. I could touch them next year. Acropolis, I got a little bit staking. Obviously, it's been destroyed. Absolutely. I don't even want to pull up the chart. Probably obliterated. Energy Web, which is obviously Chico's hot asset. The time horizon on that is not now. So that's where he's off. And my experience with that statement that the time horizon is not now is because I was early in the battery metals tech back in 2017. Again, I got hammered. Look at Tesla now, and battery metals are still not hot. Tesla went to the 10th trillion %, and no one gives a shit about where the batteries come from. No, none of those investors buying Tesla like, which companies are going to mine the actual material that goes into batteries? So I was so early in 2017, and frankly, I'm still early because nobody at all has batteries written anywhere on their radar. Meanwhile, like every kid on TikTok's buying Tesla, they have no idea how these cars get made. You need battery materials, people. Lost a fortune on that in 20. Anyway. So Energy Web, Time Horizon, Band's gotten eaten up substantially, but it's a Cosmos Hub asset. So I'd have to unstake it, which means a 21-day hold, and I'm not interested in that. And frankly, I'm not even interested in just unstaking it. I'm just going to let it sit, just like the masternodes. Polkadot, just holding that bad boy because that thing's going to, between Polkadot and Cosmos, those are just perma holds. And Ren is locked up in dark nodes. Damn. Damn, look at that price. Woo! That's brutal, boys and girls. Oh, man, I was at 11x, 1,100% on my rent position. I don't know, I think I'm on 400 or 500% right now. That thing got destroyed. Oh, here, take a look. Take a look, everyone. Take a look. Let's pop out the main board. Where's Ren? Where's Ren? Here's Ren. So check it out. Ren is holding support right here in the 200 EMA of the daily. It's about time. About time we got a little bit of support. It broke to the downside on was more or less a falling wedge. I would love to see a couple more touch points on the bottom support, but suffice it to say that looks like decent support, at least on the 200 EMA on the daily. So if this breaks to the downside, I would look to the yellow line for further downward price action. I'm very hopeful it doesn't break to the downside, but who knows? I mean, this thing is the destroyer of worlds. Manucci Bocci, come on, man. If you're listening, crush this thing. Break out the printing press. All you need is a couple of trillion. A trillion a day keeps the wrecking ball away. Come on. You know you want to. Come on. If I'm tempted, you got to be tempted because you got the button. You know where the button is, man. You just got to press it and print some trillies. Come on. Do it. Do it. All right. Digibyte, Noah, YouTube and Twitter all day nonstop. I try my best. I mean, frankly, this is all that I really give a shit about anymore. This has never really happened before, at least in my lifetime, at least in my adult lifetime, where I could comprehend these relatively large-scale macro things that are playing out between technology, the financial system, geopolitical interaction, so on and so forth. So the fact that I could digest this, I find this absolutely intriguing. The relationship between these little lines in a chart, fiat, governments, politics, technology, and the crypto space. Man, this shit's exciting. I just... Big Daddy needs a career change, boys and girls. Oh, yeah. John says... my man Charlie, I appreciate that. John Ross says, any thoughts on STO related to real estate? Sure, that's going to be cool. But time horizon, man. Time horizon. Time horizon. I think we're premature. Frankly, look at this. Look at the crypto market getting slammed. When you're talking about stuff infiltrating like legacy markets, like real estate and was it the NFTs and like the gaming industry, you're going to really need like a stable crypto space, and that's clearly not what we got when shit starts retracing 50%. So we're a long way, the time horizon on that. So this is why risk off in the crypto space is Bitcoin. And Ethereum isn't risk off. As much as the DeFi folks and the Ethereum maximalists will say Ethereum is going to go more than Bitcoin, yeah, for me, no. And frankly, the way Michael Saylor talks about it, obviously Raoul Pal and Tom Jessup is at Fidelity. Literally, he's talking the same large-scale macro narrative as Michael, and I haven't watched the Jimmy Song. I gotta watch that. He's a big boy trader. That's a whale trader right there. Woo! Absolutely crazy what Raoul got going on with the crypto channel on Real Vision. Literally, the first 3 shows are Tom, Michael, and Jimmy. Oh my God! This is the best content ever. This video right here, unless you're like a hater, unless you're like a really critical person, this shit's gonna change your life. This one video, frankly, oh man, Tom he's talking like old school financial people and the family offices, the trillionaire families and the big pension funds. Yeah. How do they get in? How? It's not why. It's not why they get in at this point. If there's a how, it's going to happen. And that's basically what Michael proved with his company. He's the CEO, no doubt, of MicroStrategy. And he was able to execute this very large systemic shift for this corporate treasury. And he figured it out. And now all the other companies are going to be like, how do I do it? Because The dollar wrecking ball destroys everything. Glenn, I think DGB is the only thing green in all markets. Yeah, yeah, man. Let's take a look real quick for the fun of it. Yeah, look at that. It's literally the only thing that's green. It's up 5.6% for the day. It's the only thing that's green. Everything else is useless. Stablecoin garbage. Binance USD. Tether. Yeah. Okay. CDI. Bam. Now that's an asset. That's good stuff right there. But this stuff, oof, goodness. Yeah, absolutely crazy to look at that top movers for the 24 hours. Um, Thank you, Charlie. No, it makes me laugh. I appreciate it. I try my best. Exponential moving average, yeah, which weighs the more recent price action more than older price action. So for me, the 200 EMA is one of the most meaningful averages. Other people look at the 50, the 20. Man, the 200 EMA. And check this out. Where did I break out a fib retrace? I never break out a fib retrace. Like literally, Bancor has blown through all the 200 EMAs on all time frames, and I rarely break out the fib retrace. I break out the fib retrace basically when the 200 EMAs are all destroyed. Maybe I should break it out more often. More data is called confluence, and confluence is a good thing. So look at this thing. Bank was about to hit the 0.786. And this is a very obvious, fib retraceable run. Some assets like, Link, you don't know where the hell the bottom is. Like, where the hell is the bottom on this thing? I mean, I guess you could go from start of the green guppies, but that's not as clear. Like, this is one of the most incredibly clear fib retraceable charts. Absolutely incredible. And look how it's just coinciding. So it's really incredible when you start to see lines just actually work on a chart. Incredible. Thoughts on Digibyte and EU partnership? Yeah, dude, that's a very speculative statement. So, thoughts on Digibyte and what the EU, which is a bajillion people and governments all over the place, think of a public decentralized blockchain? Yeah, no, there's no way I could possibly have a read on what so many people could potentially think of it. Very sophisticated or complicated, the relationship between such a public. Who the hell in the government's going to understand such a public utility? They could barely understand how to run their governments anymore. They have no idea what they're doing in these governments. It's all speculative. And what concerns me is not that they don't know how to run the governments. I see no innovation, no political innovation. It's just the same shit over and over again, and it's just we need some new blood in governments. Anyway, same thing, John. Same story. Digibyte and EU. EU. I need more. I need more details. More details. Come on. DGB and top 10 IT company partnership to be announced. Cool. That's a good thing. I think it's inevitable. I've talked about why public decentralized blockchains, and frankly, Digibyte as it exists as a public utility because it's reached critical mass decentralization. It will exist in perpetuity. It's not going anywhere. And frankly, I consider everything that's been done for it thus far really a POC, except for Anthem ID. Jan has really taken Anthem further in a very exciting direction, and how far he's taken it is impressive to say the least. So Anthem ID, sure, that's not POC. That is well developed, but everything else, Digi Assets, a lot of the other things, just straight up proof of concept. You really have to. This comes back to speculating or investing in shit that is actually playing out. So, like Ren before mainnet, that was very speculative. But after mainnet released and people started adding value, TVL, that was probably the time to get in. Now, I took a speculative bet and I was in before mainnet. You're going to get good risk returns, risk reward. That's where you max risk, max reward. So if I was more conservative, I probably wouldn't have. I may not be in profit right now, but it'd be. I should have waited probably to 10, 15, 20 mil on the volume maybe 10 mil TVL right here on the value minted section. So I like to wait for the damn bounce. I want to wait for it to crash down and then run 15, 20% to the upside, and that's really the start of stuff like this. I mean, look at this. You think this little dip right here, that was 20%, 20%, 20%, 20%, 20%, 20%, 20%. I just kept going. Oh, poor Lend. Ave, this thing's going to get hammered. This is going to be another 36% to the downside, which is, I think that's the 200 EMA on the daily that I'm looking at. Yeah. Oh, so yeah, this is where when you see a chart like this, man, I don't even know how to get out. You got to get out, and it's painful. And what you have to realize is that you should have been out. You should have been out when we had the trend formation break up here. And this is all over the place. Every single chart has the same pattern. Look at that trend formation break. Boom. And it kept going. Bancor is even worse. Here was the sim triangle, and there was the trend formation break. And then, fine, you buy it here on support, and it falls. You lose 5%, and you get out. Picky to buy, quick to sell. Lock in the loss, suck it up. And then it tries to test a previous resistance, and it fails, and it just kept going, man. So this is Bancor. I have here. I don't know why I have two of them up, but here's the fib retrace on it, and it's look at that. Look at that. It's putting price action just up against the 0.786. That's crazy, man. That is a massive retrace, and even gold's getting hammered today. As Jim Rickard says, is that a green? Is that a green candle right there? Yeah, there's a little green candle action. So, as this is getting destroyed, as the equities market gets destroyed, what happens is people are selling anything and everything they can in order to come up with the money they need to pay their debts. And that's exactly what happened with gold. That's what's happening with crypto. So there's going to be a serious bounce probably in a day or so, maybe 2 days. Well, point being, time is irrelevant. What's pertinent is that it will occur. But this is where you have to be very careful and very, very picky to buy. Profits needed to be taken before today. And at this point, man, if you're still in Bancor, this is a point where I'd probably just hold it. I mean, this is massive, massive retrace if you're still in this bad boy. What do we got? Let's take a look real quick. I mean, this is just a painful retrace. 70% to the downside. All right, brutal. Guys, don't bag hold. Don't hold the bags. Look, let's see where Tesla is during the stream. We gotta see this thing. Let's zoom in. Let's take a look. Isn't gonna hold that trend. I mean, that's the bet, man. So if you're in, that's cool. But if it breaks down, check it out. Let's delete this. Boom. And let's delete. Nope. Let's delete that. So if Tesla, so here's the thing, and this is why there's no guarantees about anything. Let's say Tesla breaks below trend. Look what happened here. It broke seriously below trend, and then it bounced right back in. What happens if it breaks here and you sell, and then it bounces back in, well, just like it did here? And then, that's a fake out. But, there's risk in the sale. You're going to lock in losses, but then you're going to miss out on gains. Now, the question in my mind that I really see, do I see this breaking upward? Do I see a bullish continuation from one of the most insane, ludicrous, irrational, shouldn't have happened, doesn't make any fundamental sense bullishness? This is not normal. This is completely malfunctioned. This is people that shouldn't be investing. They have no idea what they're doing. And this is straight up dangerous. This is 2000 territory. It's probably not as bad as 2000 territory, but this is out of the realm of reasonable. Yeah, I look forward to buying Tesla when it fails. Well, not fails, when the stock price fails, because this is not the company. This is basically a casino. This has nothing to do with what the company is doing, period. What's my favorite staking token? What is this? I know kind of what you're saying, but what is a staking token? Like a proof of stake. So I guess masternodes are a form of proof of stake. Proof of stake, the most common characteristic with proof of stake is an inflationary pressure. When Ethereum goes 2.0, it will be inflationary. Albeit, much like synthetics, the incentive to restrict supply by uh, because of the nodes and the 32eth required for a node has a deflationary pressure. So proof of stake is quite interesting from a monetary property perspective because inherently there is emission. So there is increasing supply, but there is incentivized supply disruption, which is essentially a great case study for synthetics because synthetics is quite inflationary, but it is so incredibly deflationary because of the incentivized supply disruption. Is much more deflationary than overwhelmingly accounts for the emissions, the increase in total tokens available. Absolutely incredible. But synthetics has got it hammered. So synthetics, you could argue, is proof of stake because you're locking up assets, minting SUSD, and in exchange you get SUSD and SNX rewards on a weekly basis. Synthetics is probably one of the coolest proof of stake assets. Now, bear in mind you also have the liquidity mining, which has been big risk. So I wouldn't even consider that proof of stake. I consider that I don't know. I'm still digesting what to think of the governance assets and using the governance assets as an incentive to provide liquidity. It's still digesting it. I'll be able to speak to that more. But as for traditional proof of stake, probably, and I'll skip over masternodes, probably the most interesting is block. From a fundamental standpoint, technicals, I'm not even going to pull up the chart. From the technical standpoint, it's been destroyed over the last couple of years, but it was absolutely massive. Crypto since all-time high. I think CoinGecko has that. Filter, explore all coins. Is there? Yeah. All platform category, all hash. Nope. Markets. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Price and data since all-time high. Oh, look, CoinGecko. Let's go back one. Price since all-time high. Check this out. You guys will get a kick out of this. Let's see if we get filtered. Tell me that's gonna really. I want since all-time high. Hey, look at this chart, man. Let's pull it out to the max. This thing was at $60 a pop back in 2017, end of 2017, back in January 2018. $60. Wow, absolutely incredible. So yeah, this proof of stake. Block is now proof of stake. They used to be masternodes. So that's my favorite proof of stake. Now that's not a recommendation. That just is what it is. Craig's in the house, man. Haven't seen you in a bit. Hope all is well. Uni Airdrop bought me a block server. Good for you. Good. That's a deal right there. At least that is. You're speculating. You're speculating, but the uni was free, and block. We've talked about it, and I think block has more obviously stronger fundamentals, long-term, meaningful, systemic importance as compared to uni. So that's a serious allocation of value that was just given to you. Well played, my man. Click says IBM or Google. You think? I don't think that's some serious speculation right there, my friend. Could be. I think that's anything's possible. But let's take a look at Digibyte real quick. Look, you see, it's a little bit of a rip to the upside. Bam, 29% over the last couple of days. Really cool to see. Let's see if Ren is still holding. Ren is still holding above the 200 EMA in the daily. Let's see what Tesla's doing. Damn, Tesla's still in trend formation. It held this red support line. Absolutely incredible. But look at this pinch. So look at this pinch. This is going to be crazy to see what plays out. If this breaks to the upside, man, that's crazy. I mean, look at this pinch. That is a serious pinch. This is a very, very tight point right there. What are you? How do you like them apples? Because this is a solid, solid 3 hits on that resistance, and this is a solid 3 hits on this support. It just so much force that it pushed through, and we're still in trend formation. This is gonna be crazy when this plays out, and this is like now. This is like today and tomorrow. Frankly, I think this is today. I think we're going to see a conclusion to this particular triangle right here today, which is crazy. So keep an eye on Bancor, everyone. Let's see if we get a pop off the 0.786, but I don't want to pop where it pops up and then it breaks down. Because if it breaks down, I want to look to the fib for the breakdown because that's a complete breakdown. We're not going back to one, man. That'd just be wrong. That'd just be wrong because Bancor is about to rip on V2. And that's right. All right. Always a pleasure, ladies and gentlemen. 12 o'clock on a Monday. Keep your eye on the stock market. Be very careful. Keep an eye on the dollar. I mean, this is just clearly the best stock market in history, if you know what I'm saying. And the dollar is just a destroyer of all worlds. Come on, Manucci Bucci. You know what you got to do? Pull that lever. All right. I wish everyone a wonderful day. And we're going to be back at this tomorrow. I think I'll be able to get back to 12 noon tomorrow. But if it's 11:30, I will let everyone know on Twitter. So I thank everyone ever so much, always, every day for joining and listening to me rant and rave for 30 minutes. I will see you tomorrow. Peace.